NATO teaches soldiers. Mission duration 6 months. Planning 3 weeks. Preparation 2 weeks. Logistical support 500 soldiers. Support vehicles 20. Response time 48 hours. SAS shows NATO. Mission duration 30 minutes. Planning 4 hours. Preparation none. We're already ready. Support none. The 6 of us will do. Vehicles none. We go in on foot. Response time immediately. And one more thing. Nobody dies. 5th of May 1980. Iranian Embassy, Prince's Gate, London. The world is watching. 6 armed terrorists hold 26 hostages. Day 6 of the siege. 1 hostage already murdered. Body thrown onto the pavement. The terrorists' ultimatum: release our prisoners or everyone dies. Millions watch live on BBC. Margaret Thatcher gives the order. Operation Nimrod is go. 32 SAS operators assault simultaneously. Explosive charges, abseil ropes, flashbang grenades. 7 minutes of controlled violence. NATO predicted intense firefight, casualties on both sides, hostages likely harmed. Operation duration at least an hour. Reality: 5 terrorists neutralised in 90 seconds, 19 hostages rescued alive. 1 SAS operator trapped in flames on live television, keeps fighting. 7 minutes, start to finish. The world watches Britain's finest demonstrate the art of war, and in that moment, every military commander on the planet understands. For decades, we've been learning how to fight wars. The SAS learned how to end wars before they begin, and that changes everything. But to understand why the SAS showed NATO what real warfare looks like, we must return to the moment when Britain needed something the world had never seen. 1941, North Africa. The Second World War rages. Britain is losing. Rommel's Afrika Korps sweeps across the desert. Conventional tactics fail. The enemy is too strong, too fast, too well supplied. Lieutenant David Stirling, Scottish aristocrat, 25 years old, lies in a Cairo hospital bed. A parachute training accident. He should be recovering. Instead, he's thinking. Stirling sees a problem. We attack airfields with hundreds of men. Bombers, artillery, massive operations. And what happens? The Germans see us coming. They prepare. We lose men. We barely damage them. And a week later, they're back at full strength. His solution is radical. What if we didn't attack with hundreds? What if we attacked with 8? Stirling writes his proposal, but the army bureaucracy won't see him. He's a lowly lieutenant. His ideas are unconventional. So Stirling does what SAS operators have done ever since. He ignores the rules. He sneaks past the guards at Middle East headquarters, on crutches, finds the office of General Neil Ritchie, Deputy Chief of Staff, walks straight in. "Sir, I have an idea that will change the war." He should have been arrested, court-martialed. His career should have ended that day. Instead, Ritchie reads the proposal, looks up at this mad Scotsman on crutches who just broke into his office. "You have permission to recruit 66 men. Show me what you can do." 16th of November, 1941. The first SAS raid. Target: 5 German airfields in Libya. Objective: destroy as many aircraft as possible. The mission is a disaster. Of the 62 men who parachuted in, only 22 return. The rest are killed, captured, or lost in sandstorms. Not a single aircraft destroyed. Any other commander would have shut down the unit, called it a failure, moved on. Stirling sees something different. We know what went wrong. The parachutes, the weather, the approach. We learn, we adapt, we go again. 3 weeks later, December 1941, second raid, new approach, no parachutes. The long-range desert group drives them to within striking distance. 8 men, moving on foot, at night. Target: Sirte Airfield. They walk through the perimeter like ghosts. No guards see them. Plant Lewis bombs, explosive devices invented by SAS co-founder Jock Lewis, on every aircraft they find. 24 aircraft destroyed, not a single SAS casualty. By the end of 1942, the SAS has destroyed over 400 enemy aircraft, more than the entire Royal Air Force destroyed in the same period. 400 aircraft, destroyed by groups of 8 men with bombs in their rucksacks. And the British military begins to understand, this isn't just a commando unit. This is something new. Something that changes the mathematics of war. But building a legend requires more than success. It requires a selection process that finds extraordinary men. The SAS selection course. 21 days that break the strongest soldiers in the British Army. Phase 1. The Hills. The Brecon Beacons, Wales. The most unforgiving terrain in Britain. Bergen rucksack weighing 30 kilograms. March after march, day after day. No one tells you how far. No one tells you how fast. You navigate alone. You suffer alone. Fan dance. Penavan, point to point across the mountains. Average weather, horizontal rain, freezing temperatures, zero visibility. Average dropout rate in the first week, 50%. Phase 2. Test week, 36 hours without sleep, then navigation exercises, more marches, your body screams for rest, your mind plays tricks, and still you march. The final march, the endurance, 40 miles across the beacons with a 25-kilogram Bergen. You have 20 hours. Most soldiers cannot complete it in 24. 1,000 candidates begin selection each year. Approximately 120 pass, 12% success rate, and that's just the beginning. Those who pass enter continuation training, combat survival, resistance to interrogation, language training, advanced weapons, demolitions, close quarter battle. Another 30% fail continuation. The final result, of every 1,000 soldiers who attempt SAS selection, fewer than 90 will ever wear the winged dagger. Because the SAS doesn't want good soldiers. The SAS wants extraordinary operators who can think when others panic, move when others freeze, and win when victory seems impossible. 1972, Munich Olympics. Palestinian terrorists massacre 11 Israeli athletes. The world watches in horror as German police botch the rescue attempt. Hostages and terrorists die in a chaotic gunfight. Every Western government asks the same question. What would we do? Britain already has the answer. The SAS. The Counter-Revolutionary Warfare Wing, CRW, trains constantly for exactly this scenario. The Killing House at Hereford. Live ammunition. Real hostage scenarios. Operators rehearse room clearance hundreds of times until violence becomes precision. And then, 8th year later, the Iranian embassy. 6 days of negotiation. 1 hostage murdered. The terrorists grow desperate. They threaten to execute 1 hostage every 45 minutes. At 23 hours, the order comes. Operation Nimrod is go. Within 30 seconds, the SAS hits every floor simultaneously. Explosive charges blow in windows. Operators abseil down the front of the building. Flashbangs disorient the terrorists. Teams pour through doors and windows. PC Trevor Locke, a police officer held hostage for 6 days, tackles the terrorist leader as SAS operators burst through. Split-second decisions. Who's a hostage? Who's a terrorist? No time to think, only training. One operator, Corporal Tommy Palmer, becomes entangled in his abseil rope outside a window. His legs catch fire from explosive charges. The world watches live on BBC as he hangs, burning. He kicks free, crashes through the window, keeps fighting. 90 seconds later, 5 of 6 terrorists are dead, 19 hostages rescued, only 1 hostage dies, caught in crossfire with a terrorist. The 6th terrorist tries to hide among the hostages. SAS operators identify him, pull him away. 7 minutes. Start to finish. Margaret Thatcher arrives at the SAS barracks to personally thank the men. They serve her drinks in the mess. The world has seen the future of counter-terrorism. The Falklands War, April 1982. Argentina invades British sovereign territory 8,000 miles from home. The world expects diplomacy, perhaps sanctions. Nobody expects Britain to fight. Britain fights. SAS advance teams insert into the Falklands within days of the invasion. Their mission? Reconnaissance. Observe enemy positions, report troop movements, identify targets. For weeks, SAS patrols lie hidden within meters of Argentine positions, in freezing conditions, in holes scraped into the peat, observing, reporting, never detected. Pebble Island, 14th of May. Intelligence shows 11 Argentine aircraft at a grass airstrip, aircraft that threaten the approaching British fleet. 45 SAS operators assault at night. In 45 minutes, they destroy all 11 aircraft, the ammunition dump, and withdraw without a single fatality. Mount Kent. SAS teams seize the key terrain before the main British force lands. They hold against Argentine counterattacks, directing naval gunfire, calling in airstrikes. A handful of men controlling the battlefield. When British forces land at San Carlos, they land into positions SAS operators have already secured. The Falklands are retaken in 74 days. Argentine prisoners later testified, "We never knew where the British commandos were. They appeared everywhere, killed our sentries, destroyed our aircraft, vanished. We were fighting ghosts." But the SAS's greatest triumphs often remain classified. Northern Ireland. 30 years of the Troubles. The SAS conducts operations that have never been fully disclosed. What is known? They were decisive. Loughgall, 8th of May 1987. 8 IRA terrorists plan to bomb a police station. The SAS is waiting. Every terrorist dies. Largest loss ever suffered by the IRA in a single engagement. Gibraltar, March 1988. 3 IRA members planning a bomb attack. The SAS intercepts them, all 3 neutralised. Throughout the Troubles, the SAS sends one message: nowhere is safe for terrorists. Not Belfast, not the Republic, not continental Europe. Wherever you go, we will find you. The Gulf War, January 1991. Iraq has invaded Kuwait. Coalition forces prepare for a massive ground assault. But first, someone needs to deal with the Scuds. Iraqi Scud missiles threaten Israel. If Israel retaliates, the Arab coalition fractures. The SAS deploys deep into Iraq. 300-kilometre penetration behind enemy lines. Bravo 20, the most famous SAS patrol of the modern era. 8 men, compromised, hunted across the desert. 3 killed, 4 captured, 1 escapes. Corporal Chris Ryan walks 290 kilometres to Syria, the longest escape and evasion in SAS history, but the mission succeeds. SAS teams destroy or call in strikes on dozens of Scud launchers. The missiles stop hitting Israel. The coalition holds. Sierra Leone, September 2000. Operation Barras. 11 British soldiers held hostage by the West Side Boys, a brutal rebel militia. Negotiations failing, the hostages face execution. 150 paratroopers, SAS assault teams. At dawn, they strike. The SAS hits the village where the hostages are held. Simultaneous assault from multiple directions. Total surprise. In minutes, all hostages are secured. 1 British soldier dies in the assault. tragic, but the alternative, 11 executed hostages, would have been catastrophic. 25 West Side boys killed, 18 captured. The rest scatter into the jungle, never to reform as an effective fighting force. Operation Barras didn't just rescue hostages, it ended a militia. Afghanistan, October 2001. Within weeks of September 11th, SAS operators are on the ground, working with American Special Forces, hunting Al-Qaeda, targeting Taliban leadership. Tora Bora, December 2001. SAS teams hunting Osama bin Laden in the mountain caves. The quarry escapes across the Pakistan border, but the SAS was there at the point of the spear. For 20 years, SAS teams rotate through Afghanistan, the details classified. The results speak for themselves. Iraq, 2003 to 2009. Task Force Black, Joint SAS and American Special Operations, hunting Al-Qaeda in Iraq. At the height of the insurgency, Task Force Black conducts multiple raids per night, every night, for years. American commanders later stated, "Without the SAS and Delta, we couldn't have won in Iraq." General Stanley McChrystal, commander of Joint Special Operations Command, "The SAS brought capabilities we didn't have. They made us better." Syria, the war against ISIS. The SAS operating alongside Kurdish forces, training, advising, and, when necessary, eliminating high-value targets. Details remain classified. They always do. But when historians tell the full story of the war against ISIS, the SAS will feature prominently. Today, 2026, the SAS has 85 years of continuous operations. From the deserts of North Africa to the mountains of Afghanistan, from the streets of Belfast to the jungles of Sierra Leone, every continent except Antarctica. Number of active operators? Classified. Estimates suggest approximately 400. Number of operations? Classified. Hundreds confirmed. Confirmed fatalities in 85 years. A handful in training, a handful in combat. Exact numbers unknown, because the SAS doesn't discuss its dead publicly. Compare this to any other special operations unit. The casualty rate is extraordinarily low. Not because the missions are easy, because the training is hard, because the selection is brutal, because only the extraordinary wear the winged dagger. And the British people should feel proud. Not arrogant, proud. Because the SAS shows the world something often forgotten. War doesn't always require massive armies. Sometimes it requires precision. Doesn't always require overwhelming firepower. Sometimes it requires intelligence. Doesn't always require thousands of soldiers. Sometimes it requires 8 men who know exactly what they're doing. And when you have the right men, selected, trained, hardened, you can accomplish the impossible. Storm an embassy in 7 minutes. Destroy 400 aircraft with handfuls of men. Hold key terrain against battalions. Hunt terrorists across continents. Rescue hostages from the heart of enemy territory. And return home. All of them. Alive. This is what real war looks like. Not the chaos films portray, not mass battles, not endless explosions, but quiet, precise, professional work by men who know exactly what they're doing. And the SAS does it better than anyone. NATO was shocked because for decades NATO thought bigger is better. More soldiers, more tanks, more bombs. The SAS showed better is better. It doesn't matter how many soldiers you have if you don't have the right soldiers. And the right soldiers don't come from the size of your army. They come from the quality of your selection. 12% acceptance rate, months of continuation training, years of operational experience before you're trusted with the hardest missions. This isn't NATO standard. This is SAS standard, and it's a higher standard. David Stirling died in 1990, 74 years old, but his legacy lives on, in every SAS operator, in every mission that succeeds, in every hostage who comes home. His final words to the regiment: "The SAS is not about individual glory, it's about the mission, and the mission is always the same. Accomplish the impossible, then disappear. Let others take the credit. We know what we did." And the tradition continues. Every new SAS operator joins a line stretching back to 1941. To the Scotsman on crutches who broke into a general's office. To the 8 men who destroyed 24 aircraft at Sirte. To the operators who stormed the Iranian embassy. Who dares wins. The SAS motto. 3 words that define a regiment. Not who has the most soldiers, not who has the biggest budget, not who makes the most noise. Who dares wins. And for 85 years, the SAS has dared more than any other unit in the world, and won. When future generations ask, what did Britain contribute to global security? The answer will be clear. Britain showed the world that you don't need the largest army to be the most effective, that you don't need the most expensive equipment to win, that you need men who are better selected, better trained, better disciplined than anyone else. And when you have those men, you can do the impossible, just as the SAS has done for 85 years, quietly, professionally, effectively. Who dares wins.